In my first year of my business, I think I had 3 seminars where I had, I don't know, between 25 and 50 people in them. And the first one I was selling tickets to while I was being trained down in Sanibel Island, Florida. I was down there for 3, 4 days, whatever it was. And at night, instead of going out drinking with everybody, I was up in my hotel room making calls to sell that first seminar seat. Now, you all know the story. I told you my wife and I had a deal, and the deal was that I'd make $5,000 a month. So I had to hit the ground running. There was no time to think or build a website or do any of this stuff. I had to make sales right out the door. And I'll add this. I hired a guy to help me make sales. I had no idea. He didn't know what he was doing, right? It appeared that he did in the beginning. And here's why. The first 3 seminars, the tickets sold relatively easy. And Proctor said something to me in passing that I'll never forget. And I didn't get it at the time. I thought he was like teasing me. He's like, "How are the sales going?" I'm like, "Well, it's not that bad actually. I got 25 people in this one and I got 50 people in this one." And he's like, "Good." He goes, "Has it been hard?" And I said, "No, it's actually been, I think, relatively easy." He says, "Well, don't expect it to stay that way." And I didn't know why he said that to me. And then I maybe 8 months in, 8 months in, somewhere around there, they had like an auditorium, okay, held 300 people. And I rented that, right? There was no place for these were all local people I was selling to. There was no place for them to stay. They drove in and out every day. If during lunchtime, they would go down the street to McDonald's or Wendy's or something, something like that. The guy that had been helping me put people in seats, he's telling me everything's going well. He's like, "Yeah, a lot of people, they want to sign up the day that they get there and they're going to pay the day." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." I did not know to question anything. Like, it had been going okay, so I figured everything's going okay. And the numbers is starting to increase a little bit. I'll never forget this. I pull into the parking lot that morning, a couple hours before we're supposed to start. And I don't see many cars in the parking lot. And this guy, Dave, that worked with me, I walk in and he's like running down the hall he's going like this, trying to get my attention. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" He goes, "I have to talk to you. I got to talk to you." He pulls me into this room. He goes, "There's only 4 people here." I said, "What? What did you say?" "Well, stop it. Quit screwing around. What are you talking about?" He says, "Yeah, we only sold 4 tickets." I did a seminar for 4 people for 3 days. That day, my initial emotional response was just give them a refund and get the hell out of here. And I said to myself, I will not do that. I will not do that. I don't know why this is happening, but I need to learn why this is happening and I need to do it. And I think to this day, within my business, one of the hardest things I ever did was do a 3-day seminar for 4 people. And this was only like the 4th time that I had done this. I mean, I didn't know really how to entertain an audience, keep them moving, their energy. Like, I didn't know any of that stuff, nothing. You could tell that those people were having pity on me. They were very kind. I learned a couple major things afterwards. Number one was that the first few seminars that I did, because I was going to people I knew, a lot of them were saying yes just to help me, just to be kind to me. Like, David starting a business, it was all from that network marketing thing that I had been involved in. Then I did these 4 people and then the rubber hit the road. It got really serious at that point because I had no leads left, right? People were going to be kind once. They were coming to a seminar twice. It was like, okay, I've got to figure this out. And I will tell you this, the feeling that I got after I accomplished that seminar, that 4-person seminar, I felt like if I could get through that, I could get through anything. I did not realize how big of a decision it was to say yes to do that, regardless of the situation, because it would have been I wouldn't even have had to go in the room. I could have sent the guy that was working for me, give everybody a refund, give them $100 gas money to go home, whatever. And I could have went back to my house and hid my face. It would have been so easy to do. And I was so tempted, but there was something inside me that said, if you do that, it's over. It's over. It doesn't matter what shows up. You've got to step into it. And I remembered that Proctor had a story like this when he started. When he left Nightingale Conant, he got the ability to send out an invitation to a seminar to 22,000 people, hard mail, snail mail, right? Mailbox mail. And he rented a theater in Chicago for 2,000 people, and 6 people showed up. And he said they didn't even sit together. Now, it wasn't for 3 days. I think it was for a day and a half. But he did it. He put it on anyway, as if the room was filled with 2,000 people. But the thing was that it was like, there's a lot of things about this that are important. It's like, what is your commitment? This was probably one of the biggest turning points in my event, in the beginning, especially in the beginning, because had I not stepped into that result and dealt with my shame and my embarrassment, and I mean, it took everything that I had in me to be a leader for those 3 days with those 4 people when the entire room was empty. It's like, okay, 4 people showed up. It doesn't matter. They didn't pay to be in a room with 300 other people. They paid to come see you. You better give them the best that you've got. And I did. I gave them the best that I had. But every ounce of my emotions I mean, it was hard. It was really difficult. It was like conscious choice, conscious choice. Give the very best that you can. But every week, there's something that shows up for everybody that it pulls on your consciousness, right? Do I say yes? Do I say no? Do I step into the forward movement of the direction that I'm going? It might not seem big. Your emotions might be telling you, forget this. Do it. Go. I've had that happen before. Like all of a sudden, God's going, go here or get out of here, but just do something. Move. Get out of there. Move. You don't need to know where it is, what it is. Make the call. Make the movement. Ask the person. Introduce yourself. Make the sale. But don't listen to the voice that's telling you that you can't. So here's the key to this. It's interesting. Law of polarity. Whenever there's something good trying to come into your life, your voice will try to talk you out of it, right? The other voice, the subconscious voice that's trying to keep you from succeeding every time. And that is a sign, actually, right? For those people that love the whole signs and wonders thing, that's a sign. When something is telling you not to do something that you think you should do or is in front of you to do, it's not a logical thing like don't step on a rattlesnake. It's not something like that. It's trying to keep you from a direction that you're supposed to go. The fact that there's something trying to pull you back, you better pay attention to it, because that's a clear indication. Because without you choosing in the difficulty of those two things, there's no growth. See, the growth comes when you consciously go, no, I'm going to say no to this voice and I'm going to say yes to this one. And I'm going to go in that direction. That's when you grow. Instead of saying no to that group of people that I was with, I said yes. That caused me to grow. I was like, I did this. I accomplished something, right? Most people would have probably laughed at me in that situation. 4 people showed up. But I was there and I did it. So I grew. And I learned so many lessons from that. The other thing is that I'll bet you if I was the person that would have said, like, give him a refund, whatever, I'd have went home and then found ways to blame those results on somebody else, because I would have felt bad and I would have felt guilty. I would have went home and blamed people for it instead of taking responsibility and going, this can never happen again. What caused this? But because I did it, I was able to stand in that righteousness of, I did this. I created it. I attracted it. And now I'm going to go on to the next thing. Now, what caused this? And that was this whole thing where I had been avoiding sales tremendously at the time. So I was like, okay, that's the next thing I got to learn. I got to be the one to do the sales. It's my responsibility to make sure those people are in the room. And it's not okay to say, well, the salesperson didn't sell enough people. It's your company. You're responsible for how many people are in the room, how many people buy the ticket, how many people buy your service. You're responsible for it. There's something big for every one of you this week. It may seem big, it may not seem big, but it requires you to say yes to move into it. We are just getting started. What you do this year can be extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. as long as you say yes to the right thing. You got to stop messing with voices that are telling you no, that are keeping you down. Stop having that argument. Stop having that argument. Step into doing the thing. Where's the next level of growth for you? What is the next thing? It's there. It's there every day. It's the thing that you don't want to do, the thing you're afraid to do, the thing that you're avoiding doing. It's there. It's right there. God doesn't play games with this stuff. It's always right there. And if you ask God, show me, you will be shown. Everything that you need is always here. We live in a really interesting world. A lot of verification of the negative, for sure. But it's also a lot of verification of the ignorant. When people don't know and they don't know that they don't know, they react to whatever it is that's being shown to them at the time. And if they don't ask the question, how do I get out of this? How do I turn this around? How do I end up with a different result? They don't get the message. They just continue to suffer. But when you ask, you move in the direction. Whatever it is, there's something up for each one of you to transition this week, to do more, to be better, to grow. There's something in front of you, something big in front of you this week. A door is going to open. A person's going to come into your life. A sale's going to be made. An opportunity is going to show up. Something. Pay attention to it. Embrace it. Don't argue with the negative voice, because the next level for you has arrived. 100%.